close to yours on Parkview Drive, and just
I'm not interested.
Okay, well, thank you for taking my call.
Once again, I'm not interested. Not interested in what? What are you not interested in? I'm not selling anything. Hi, I'm Dale Archdekin, the founder of Smart Inside Sales, and I am doing a reaction video on some agents making cold calls. So I am reviewing some of these agents, and I want to just give you some feedback. So we're a professional training organization, and we work with agents and ISAs across the country, teams, brokerages, and everything. And so I just wanted to grab some of these agents who are doing these calls and being brave enough to jump out there and make this happen. And I just wanted to give some feedback and a little bit of coaching, a little bit of correction to what they're doing to help improve their efforts. And if you're doing it too, to help yours also. So let's jump into this.
Hey guys, so I'm sorry for what I look like right now. I just got back from the gym. There was this later cool gym class that I wanted to try.
Okay, so she's doing cold calls, and basically she's circle prospecting. This can also be called just listed, just sold. She's saying something radius searches. So anyway, it could be a just listed, just sold. What she's doing here is she's calling about something that her or her company just recently sold in a particular neighborhood. And here's a secret, everybody. You can call these neighborhoods whether you've sold something there or not. If it makes you feel better, you just pick something that actually recently sold by your brokerage, or it doesn't really matter. Honestly, when you're making these cold calls into a neighborhood, these people have no idea who you are. You're calling them out of the blue. Whether or not you actually have a property to talk about is not that important. So you can have a property to talk about, call them up and talk about the immediate neighbors, talk about those properties. Or if you just want to do circle prospecting, you can prospect into a neighborhood, because I promise you, these days, you or your team or your brokerage or your office definitely has a buyer looking to purchase in their neighborhood. And if you run across anybody willing to sell, I guarantee you, you're going to be able to sell it in today's market.
Or calling around neighborhoods. So whenever we sell a listing on a specific street or address, we call the surrounding areas to see if any neighbors or friends nearby also are considering selling. I just wanted to show you this really quick. This is the dialer system that I use. It's called Mojo. So if any of you agents are thinking about doing similar calls, this is the program that can help you make those calls.
So Mojo is a great program. I used it for many years. Ran real estate teams that used it for many years. What Lillie doesn't say in here is that Mojo can dial between 1 and 3 lines. So you can dial up to 3 lines at the same time to make it go faster. Because when you're doing circle prospecting, typically you're buying phone numbers in a list, and Mojo can supply numbers to you too. There's also several other programs that can do that. So it can provide that information to you, but a lot of times that data is not that great. It has to be scrubbed for cell phones, and it has to be scrubbed against the do not call list. So what you get are a whole lot of numbers where not a lot of people are going to answer. And depending on what time of day you call, you may or may not get more answers or less answers. But having a tool like Mojo that can call more than 1 line at a time makes it much easier for you. And we have a link in the description if you want to check out Mojo and you want to test out that tool. That is a tried and true tool for real estate prospecting, for lead generation, that's been used for very many years, and is a good one. It also can record your calls, which is massively important. So in our coaching and training company, we generally strongly encourage our clients to record their calls, because there's nothing like being able to listen to what you actually said to a lead and didn't say to a lead with your trainer to explode your sales skills. So Mojo is a good tool to use.
All right, let's do this. Let's do it! You can do it! Okay, so I'm calling into the dialer system right
She has a great attitude, and that's hugely important.
now. So the dialer system gives you the option to not have your personal number show up when you're calling, but I actually don't mind it, because that way if they call me back, I can still try to capture them as a lead that way. And hopefully you'll be able to hear this, because I'm just gonna have it on speaker.
Please enter your PIN number.
Some agents will use headsets, which is really good.
I definitely recommend using a headset. It's harder to do it, just with your cell phone up to your head. But if you have a headset either connected to your cell phone, or best case scenario is you're calling voice over IP on your laptop. So you have your Mojo on your laptop, have a headset on that's either connected by wire or USB, and then you can just click dial and it starts burning through there and connects you to people as they answer the phone. Also, if you're running on a headset, it's much easier for you to be able to take notes.
You also sometimes can go through a lot of numbers before anybody actually answers. So hopefully we'll get some.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak with Mrs. Schmid?
Hello?
Hi, may I speak with Mrs. Schmid?
A little bit later in this video, Lillie actually talks about why she starts in this way and asks for somebody's name. That is definitely not the best practices. When you're calling strangers in pretty much any market in the US, when you're calling strangers, this whole I'm calling for so-and-so, is so-and-so there? It really sets up a weird situation where, if you think about it this way, whenever you're calling a person, a number, a lead, whatever it may be, they don't recognize the number, either on their caller ID or they don't recognize it on their cell phone. Then they answer the phone and they don't recognize the person who's calling. And then that person asks, may I speak with so-and-so? And then Lillie has just confirmed to that lead has no idea who she is. Now, in most markets, 9 times out of 10, somebody who's calling your phone that you don't recognize and doesn't know your name or who you are is probably a telemarketer. So although Lillie sounds awesome, she's got a great voice, great energy, she literally is setting herself up for failure by asking for that. So let's play a little bit more of this. I want to hear a couple of these where Lillie does this dance in the beginning with the name thing, and it just wastes a lot of time. So listen to this.
Hello? Please leave. Hello?
Hi, may I speak with Mrs.
Hello?
I was trying to get a hold of Mrs. on,
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. I'll change phones.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so you heard the first example where Lillie asked for somebody's name, may I speak with, or I'm looking for whatever. She had to say it twice. They hung up on her. I don't know whether they could hear or not. They probably just hung up. The second one, she had to repeat herself. It's just a huge waste of time asking for the person or trying to speak with the person. Because at the end of the day, when you're doing this kind of call, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, I'm not interested in moving. I'm not interested in selling. And so really, you just need to get through a lot of those conversations. And you're setting yourself up for failure when you confirm that you don't know who they are. So really, it should just sound much more like ring, ring. The person answers. If you want to read the name on the sheet, just read the name on the sheet. Hi, Mrs. Smith. This is Dale Archdekin with Whatever Realty. How are you today? If you want to use a salutation, or if you don't, you can just say, hi, Mrs. Smith. This is Dale Archdekin with Amazing Realty. I wanted to let you know we just recently sold a home around the corner from you in your neighborhood, and we have several more buyers that are looking for a place to purchase, right? Just go into it, get into it. If she wants to know about the house that sold or the price, great. Really, the whole point is tell her who you are, why you're there, and what you want to know, right? That's pretty much it. Super simple. What Lillie is doing here, she's just dragging it out too much and spending half of her time talking about, is this the right name or not?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me better?
Hello? Yeah.
Okay, this is Lillie. I was calling with Keller Williams. I was trying to get a hold of Miss.
And again with the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just calling the neighborhood, ma'am. Our real estate team just sold a property fairly close to yours.
Here's the other thing about why not to care about the name. Who cares? Just, it is the person you're calling. It's the right person. Just use their name. If you're wrong, they'll tell you. You can still ask if they want to sell their home or if they know anybody looking to buy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the right person or not.
Is over on Parkview Drive, and just because of how quickly we sold it, it's really hot right now in that whole area there. So we're just calling around the neighborhood, ma'am, to see if you or anyone else you might know of in the area is also thinking of selling in the near future.
No, I'm not interested. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a great rest of your day.
All right. Now, here's the thing. This is a little bit advanced, and I'm going to give the caveat here. When you're doing circle prospecting, a lot of people are not going to be interested. They're going to say, I'm not moving, I'm not selling, I'm not interested, I don't know anyone. Perfectly fine. But in this case, Lillie asked the question. Actually, let me see. What question did she ask? I didn't even hear that part.
So we're just calling around the neighborhood, ma'am, to see if you or anyone else you might know of in the area is also thinking of selling in the near future.
To see if you or anyone else in the neighborhood is thinking of selling in the near future. That was the question, and now we're going to listen to the answer.
No, I'm not interested. Thank you.
No, I'm not interested. Thank you. Not interested in what? Okay? We don't know what she's not interested in, but listen, Lillie just takes that objection as an answer.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a great rest of your day.
Okay, she takes it as an answer. Don't take that as an answer, right? You got the person on the phone. It's so hard to get people on the phone. When this person says the answer of, I'm not interested, That doesn't make sense according to the question that she asked, right? So if you get an answer that clearly tells you, either this person isn't interested or they don't understand what I'm asking them, then stay there and don't give up so quickly, right? So if Lillie asks, hey, are you planning on moving in the near future? Or do you know anyone in the neighborhood it may be? The lead says, oh, I'm not interested. Lillie could ask, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't offering you anything. What is it you're not interested in? Or, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to offer you anything. I wanted to find out if you were planning on selling your home in the near future, maybe even in 5 years, right? So stay there. Don't take that initial objection as the answer and continue having the conversation with somebody, because I guarantee this person probably just didn't really listen to what she said and just said no, because Lillie's telemarketing, basically.
You're welcome.
Bye. Selling for, obviously we sold one there, but you want to be really familiar with the areas, because if someone asks you a question about it, you want to make sure that you can answer them appropriately. And also, I always use their name at least a few times in the call, because anytime you say somebody's name, it's more personal. So when I call them, I say, hi, can I speak with Tim? Instead of just saying, hi, this is Lillie with Keller Williams. The reason why
So I disagree here. She's saying that if she just calls up and says, hi, this is Lillie with Keller Williams, that somehow she's going to get blown off the phone more than if she calls and asks for the person. She says that she would hang up on somebody who just calls and says who they are. But, that's just her, I get it. That's her personal opinion. We've worked with thousands and thousands of agents and ISAs across the country. And generally speaking, if you go into a conversation assumptively, as though you know who you're talking to and you're supposed to be there, whether or not you use their name, generally your hang-up rates will go down. So if you ask for the person, if you ask if it's so-and-so, or you ask for the person, your hang-up rates go up, actually. So although Lillie may feel that way, basically looking at data from a lot of different points, it goes down and benefits you better.
The reason why I do that is because if somebody called me and they started the call off with, hi, this is Richie with whoever, I would hang up on them. But if they say, hi, Lillie, I'd be like, who is this? Like, how do you know my name? So just little tidbits of what I do. You can make it your own, do what you want. Okay, off to the next caller. Oh, hi, sir, this is Lillie. I'm calling with Keller Williams about your house on Cienega Drive. Yeah, I just wanted to reach out to you. The estate team actually just sold a property fairly close to yours over on Parkview Drive. And just because of how...
I just bought this property in October.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. Then you're probably all set. Okay. Well, no worries, sir. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so don't give up just because the guy said that he just recently bought his property. Although he doesn't sound very pleasant, he may know neighbors, he may know people who also want to purchase in the neighborhood, he may have other friends and relatives who want to sell. So stay in the conversation, have a conversation with him, and even though he just bought, a big part of what you want to do when you're doing circle prospecting is to add people to your database, which Lillie talks about here, right? She says, you want to capture their information if they say they're going to be selling like a year from now and put them into the database. That's absolutely true. I would also say that with every single person that you call circle prospecting, you want to try to add them to your database also, even, for instance, if this guy has already just purchased the property. And so that script sounds like this. Hey, I appreciate you thinking about this. This is if they reject you, no, I'm not interested, or no, I'm not going to be selling. I appreciate you thinking about that. Several of your neighbors have asked me to keep them up to date on what homes are currently selling for in your neighborhood. I can email the same information to you. What's your best email address? So that's just a quick piece of script there that you're going to put on the end of every single circle prospecting call, where you're going to attempt to get the contact information from the person you're speaking to add them to your database. Because when you're doing this kind of circle prospecting, apparently Lillie has had success at it, and that's great. But generally speaking, in most real estate markets, you're really at kind of a 100-to-1 ratio, where you need to have about 100 conversations to find one person who's going to be selling their property within the next probably 3 to 6 months. And so that's a lot of people that you have to talk to, especially when a lot of them aren't answering. So every single person that answers, you want to attempt to get that contact information. And I just gave you guys the script to do that with. We can put that script in the description as well.
Okay, well, he said that he just bought it in October and he plans to die there. People say that all the time. They're always like, this is my house and I plan to die here. Or this is my house and I'm going to live here until they carry me out. And I'm like, what about you enjoying Christmas there and like Gosh, you just go straight from like living there to death? It's so weird. Anyways, he didn't like me. All right, let's do a few more. I promise this type of call does work though. I know that you're not seeing it right now, helping and like actually getting appointments, but I just got 2 appointments from this last week and one of them I'm gonna be listing, so it totally works. But it's just a numbers game. The amount of number that you people, or the amount of numbers that you dial just gives you more chances of the amount of conversions that you'll have.
She's 100% right on that. Really, it is just a numbers game. A numbers game, you have to have a lot of conversations. And she's super pleasant, really nice person. And so it's going to be easier for her to talk to people. If you don't have her personality, then you need to fake it.
Yeah?
Oh, hi sir, this is Lily. I'm calling with Keller Williams about your house on Pewter Place.
What about it?
We're just calling the neighborhood, sir. Our real estate team just sold a property fairly close to yours over on Parkview Drive. And just because of how quickly we sold it, Mr. hot right now in that whole area there.
Yeah, this house will never be sold.
Okay, well I appreciate your time. You know, I just want them to...
All right, so she shouldn't be giving up so easily. This house will never be sold. Talk to the guy about it, right? Got it. So when you say never be sold, tell me what you mean. Or when you say never be sold, I'm happy for you. You're going to live forever. That's fantastic. So tell me how that's going to work, right? Or it'll never be sold. Got it. So are you planning on handing it down to the kids or other family members? So just carry on the conversation, no matter what they say. She does really well. She said she got just recently listed something that she's going to be selling as a result of doing circle prospecting, and that's great. So I would say that it's so hard to get people on the phone or to answer that if somebody gives you something to work with, just go for it. Just discover it, run it down a little bit more. It doesn't cost you much, right? It's just a couple more questions. And, you know, some people just say crazy stuff because you're a complete stranger calling them out of the blue, and they just say crazy stuff to get rid of you. But if you stay there for a little bit, show them that you're a real human being, a lot of times they will sort of, the iceberg will melt and they'll actually have a conversation with you.
Oh, hi ma'am, this is Lily. I'm calling with Keller Williams about your house on Rancho Mesquite.
What about it?
We're just calling the neighborhood, ma'am. Our real estate team actually just sold a property fairly close.
She said, what about it? So again, this is another example where Lily's wasting a lot of time. She says the name. She's so fixated on right person, right property. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all unless you are trying to specifically only talk to that person about selling that house. Because otherwise, just get into the conversation. And everybody, when they answer that phone, wants to know, who are you? Why are you calling me? What do you want? So if you can get to it faster, it will keep them happier and not piss them off as much, right? A telemarketer calling and playing a cat and mouse game with you about information just makes people more annoyed than being called out of the blue. So just get to it, right? Go in assumptively, know who they are. You're talking to the right person every single time. I promise you, if you're not talking to the right person about the right house, they'll tell you. So totally fine. Just go into it. Who are you? What do you want to know? Who are you? Why are you calling? And what do you want to know? Quickly.
Close to yours on Parkview Drive. And just
I'm not interested.
Okay, well, thank you for taking my call. Okay.
Once again, I'm not interested. Not interested in what? What are you not interested in? I'm not selling anything. Okay? So stay in there. Lily, if you're listening to this, you sound fantastic. Amazing personality. You're an awesome person. If I was selling real estate in your market, I would definitely hire you. But don't roll over and play dead so quickly, okay? Make them push you off the phone at least 3 times before you let them go, just as a practice. Because right now, you're taking the very first no that you get from somebody. So stay in the fight, stay there longer. It takes you a long time to get these people on the phone. And if you make them push you to 3 times no, you're going to be doing much better and you'll set more appointments. So thanks for your time.